What I'm about to tell y'all I haven't heard before, so I doubt you have either. Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days what would have taken 5 years.
Playoffs last week, attendance, ticket sales, and viewership have all taken a major hit. The league clearly feels her absence, and fans are noticing too.
Little chart right here. The Fever will have over 600,000 fans in attendance total this year, and the second best to that was in 1999 with the Washington Mystics at just over 400,000. So the Fever are going to account for over 200,000 more fans this year to their...
The WNBA has been pushing Aya Wilson front and center to keep the excitement alive, but it doesn't seem to be working. Without Caitlin, the buzz has cooled down fast. Do you think the new fans who joined because of her will stick around for the playoffs? The Liberty versus Aces matchup might draw some attention, but the difference between 8.8 million and just 400,000 viewers is huge, especially now that football season is in full swing.
Caitlin's departure, do we think that these new WNBA fans are going to stick around for the rest of the playoffs? The Liberty Aces series might be one that draws some numbers. The disparity between 1.8 million and around 400,000 is wild, especially with football season being in full swing.
And bias she faced, especially in the biggest games. The league wore her down, and now that she's gone, they're realizing just how much she meant to the sport. As Caitlin finally gets to rest, the WNBA is left struggling through the playoffs, fighting to grab even half the viewers she once brought in. She was pushed, fouled, and knocked to the ground without calls, and because of that, fans never got to see her in a third game against the Sun, even after her incredible performance.
I want to be in this situation next year where I'm saying, do you remember when you people were giving her grace, saying that she's 22, media training is not there. 1 year afterwards, she's still in the same.
The WNBA has had its highs and lows, but there's no denying that Caitlin Clark changed everything. Since entering the league, she's brought a level of energy and excitement that the WNBA had been missing for years. Her impact went far beyond her on-court skills. She drew in fans, media coverage, and casual viewers, giving women's basketball a whole new spotlight.
For WNBA games that Caitlin Clark is not in, it's like 3 to 4 million. When she's in the game, when it's her game playing, it's like 17 million.
Yeah. Well, I also look at the attendance in the arena.
Yes.
It's 8 to 10,000 everywhere else.
Mm.
Caitlin Clark, 17, 18.
Yep.
Caitlin Clark isn't just a star athlete. She's a phenomenon who completely revitalized the WNBA. But now, with her season ending after the loss to the Connecticut Sun, the league is struggling to keep up the energy and momentum she created. Without her on the court, it feels like the WNBA has hit a wall, unable to recapture the excitement and spark that came with Clark's presence.
Caitlin Clark, she is the first Division I player, and that is male or female, to record 3,000 points, 900 assists, and 800 rebounds.
The truth is, the WNBA has taken a major hit since Caitlin Clark's exit. When she played, the league felt alive. The buzz, the hype, the energy, it was all there. Even people who never watched women's basketball were suddenly tuning in, eager to see what she'd do next. Without her, that spark is gone, and the numbers prove it. Viewership and attendance have dropped noticeably, despite predictions that the playoffs would continue the momentum from her breakout season. But instead, empty seats and lower TV ratings tell a different story. To put it simply, when Caitlin Clark plays, over 1 million people tune in.
Calling for the equality, and now that there is the chance for them to start getting paid more because the exposure's up. Because it's her, you have people like, what's her name, Jamelia Hill, or what? I can't stand her.
Yeah.
You got these women who are coming on here, and they're saying it's because...
Without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA just isn't the same. The league is struggling to keep fan interest, and viewership has dropped to barely 300,000 per game, a huge fall that shows just how much her presence mattered. When Caitlin is on the court, people tune in to watch her unique style of play, her charisma, and her clutch performances. She's more than an athlete, she's entertainment. But when she's not out there, it's like the excitement disappears completely.
Some people think she's already arrived. I don't. I think she's going to be even better. I think that what she has done for women's basketball, especially in this country, has been phenomenal. There is no woman, no matter how great you were as a player, Cheryl Swoops, there is no woman who should negate mentioning Caitlin Clark and what Caitlin
The energy just isn't there anymore. During Caitlin's time on the court, the league was thriving. Now it feels like it's limping to the finish line. And it's not just because she's a talented player. It's because she's one of those rare athletes who completely captivate people. Caitlin Clark doesn't just play basketball, she transcends it. Her creativity, confidence, and unpredictability make every game must-see TV. You never know what she's going to do next, but you know it'll be something special. That's why arenas were packed and millions watched from home, because Caitlin Clark isn't just a player, she's an experience.
2, Sabrina 3, Kate Martin 4. We talked about this earlier in the season. I feel sad that Kate Martin also hasn't gotten as much playing time the second half of the season. I feel like she deserves more, or maybe she deserves a different team. How crazy would that be if she went to Indiana?
There's just something magnetic about Caitlin Clark. She doesn't just play basketball, she puts on a show every time she steps onto the court. From deep three-pointers to no-look passes and that fearless attitude, she captivates everyone watching. It's more than skill, it's the swagger, confidence, and determination that make her games feel like must-see events. Fans feed off her energy, her passion, and her relentless drive to win. But when she's not out there, the WNBA loses that spark. Without Clark, the league feels less like a spectacle and more like just another basketball game, and that's where the problem lies. Even die-hard WNBA fans find it tough to stay engaged without her presence. The spark she brings is irreplaceable, and when she's gone, the excitement fades, leaving a void no other player or team has been able to fill.
Oops, all y'all other haters out there, and I'm gonna call you out, man. Cause it's blatantly obvious why you hating on the young lady. If she was black, man, everybody be going crazy about Caitlin Clark right now. But she not. And what I appreciate about it is just that. She ain't.
What makes this whole situation even more frustrating for fans is how the WNBA has handled Caitlin Clark while she's playing. You'd think that a player of her caliber, someone who's bringing in record-breaking viewership and putting the league in the spotlight, would be respected and protected on the court. Yet, time and time again, that hasn't been the case. We've seen referees treat Caitlin unfairly. She gets hacked on drives, shoved in the paint, and fouled on the perimeter, but the whistle rarely blows in her favor. Instead of recognizing her talent and ensuring a fair playing field, officials often act like she's the problem. It's baffling, especially when she's clearly the league's biggest draw. It almost feels like the WNBA doesn't realize how valuable she is. Rather than protecting and promoting their rising star, they've allowed her to be mistreated, and fans have noticed. People can see the bias, and they're tired of it. Instead of building excitement around Caitlin, the league's inaction is pushing fans away. Caitlin's supporters are loyal, but they're fed up. They're tired of seeing her singled out by players, targeted by referees, and overlooked by the league itself. At this point, many are asking the same question. Why support a league that seems determined to tear down its most talented and marketable player?
We're not going to be seeing Caitlin Clark play basketball again for another 200 days. An ESPN reporter said at the end of the Indiana Fever Connecticut Sun Game 2 that Caitlin Clark almost definitely will not be playing basketball this offseason. So no overseas and no 3.
The decision by fans to stop watching WNBA games after Caitlin Clark's playoff exit isn't just about her being out of the postseason, it's about principle. Fans have seen how she's been treated all season long, the bias from officials, the lack of protection from the league, and the overall disrespect toward a player who's done more for the WNBA than anyone in recent memory. Now, they're making a statement. Without Caitlin, many fans feel completely disconnected from the league, and that's reflected in the steep drop in viewership. Their loyalty lies with her, not the WNBA. Without her involvement, there's simply no reason for them to keep watching. The league's failure to treat Caitlin fairly has sparked backlash that's directly affecting its bottom line. Before she arrived, the WNBA often struggled to capture mainstream attention. Yes, there were talented players and passionate fans, but the wider public just wasn't tuning in. Caitlin Clark changed that. She brought energy, media buzz, and a whole new audience to women's basketball. But now that she's gone, the league seems to be slipping back to where it was before, fighting to stay relevant and struggling to hold the spotlight. It's clear that Caitlin didn't just boost the WNBA, she revitalized it. And without her, the league faces a steep uphill climb once again.
More than 1 year. I'm just getting it from all she's doing is she's only in the gym, back and forth in the gym. You're telling me that
you can't say that, Ola. You know she's doing a lot of stuff. Because I was in college for 4 years, and
Caitlin Clark's presence alone has the power to shift the entire narrative, to make the WNBA the center of conversation. But if the league continues to allow her to be disrespected by referees and fails to support her properly, they risk losing everything she's built. The WNBA's inability to protect and promote its biggest star could send it spiraling back into irrelevance, undoing all the progress Clark brought to the game. The league needs to understand that Caitlin Clark isn't just another great player, she's the face of their future. She's the one driving ticket sales, boosting ratings, and filling arenas. Without her, the WNBA risks slipping back into the same struggles it faced before she arrived. Clark has completely transformed how people view women's basketball, but if the league doesn't step up to support her, that momentum could vanish. Even with all the challenges, her impact this season was historic. Games broadcast on ION averaged an incredible 1.26 million viewers, and she broke records in nearly every major category, from scoring to assists to shooting efficiency. Whether she was hitting deep threes or delivering pinpoint passes, Caitlin Clark redefined what dominance looks like in the WNBA. It's shocking that a generational talent like her is still being treated with bias or overlooked by those running the league. Instead of celebrating her and using her as the symbol of growth she is, the WNBA has too often allowed negative narratives to take over. That needs to change, fast. Caitlin Clark is the league's golden ticket to long-term success. Without her, the WNBA risks fading back into obscurity. Backhand index pointing right. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. More updates are coming up next.